ABC 15 News at 11 starts now.
Now at 11, 150 people are feared dead after a passenger plane crashed into the French Alps today.
Plus, should off-duty and former police officers be able to carry guns on school grounds in the state? It's the hot topic being discussed today at the Capitol.
And we are learning more about Angelina Jolie's announcement that she had another major surgery to prevent the very cancer that took her mother's life. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Christine Belfort.
And I'm Ashley Matthews. Our big story at 11, French authorities said no one survived the crash of a German passenger jet this morning in the French Alps. There were 150 people on board, including German high school students and their teachers.
And as Bill Neely tells us, it will take days to recover the victims because of the mountainous area where the plane went down.
It's a tragedy and a search centered on the most rugged terrain. This is the remote area of the French Alps where the plane with 150 people on board went down less than an hour into a flight to Germany. The crash site is said to be a 2.5-hour hike from the nearest village. This is the German Wings plane, 24 years old, an Airbus 320, which was flying at an altitude of 38,000 feet when it began what appears to be a controlled descent. For at least 7 minutes, its altitude dropped at around 3,000 to 4,000 feet a minute until at 10:47 local time, the pilot sent a distress signal. The French president says no survivors are expected to be found. He met the Spanish king today. 45 of those on board are believed to be Spanish, most of the rest German or Turkish. At Düsseldorf Airport, where the plane was due to land, distressing scenes as relatives were told the news. At least 400 search and rescue workers are on their way to the area. No bad weather conditions were reported during the flight. It is hoped the plane's 2 flight recorders can be found and analysed. But for now, the cause of this crash is a mystery. So in spite of that rugged terrain, there is every hope that the 2 flight recorders can be found. French air accident investigators are among the best in the world. So it may be that in a few weeks, maybe earlier than that, the cause of this crash will be known. But of course, that is no comfort whatsoever at the moment to the relatives of the 150 on board who are suffering so deeply right now. Back to you.
This is your Weather Authority forecast.
All right, it is weather time. Let's take a look at what we have going on outside. Some sunshine across southern Wisconsin now. A look at the Capitol building. Forecast high temperature for today at 40 degrees. The low this morning was 16. The current conditions, we have a 33-degree temp out there with sunshine, southeasterly winds at 16 miles per hour. There is some more precip on the way for tonight and early tomorrow, and I'll have those forecast details for you coming up.
Charlie, thank you. Happening today, a public hearing will be held on a bill that would allow off-duty and former police officers to carry guns on school grounds here in Wisconsin. Current state law generally bans people from possessing guns on school grounds, as well as within 1,000 feet of the school. The prohibition, however, does not apply to police officers acting in their official capacity. The bill did not have support in the last session. A 20-year-old man accused of abducting a woman from a Wisconsin hospital is dead. Stan Silas shot himself after he was tracked down in a Mount Pleasant neighborhood yesterday. He kidnapped a woman at gunpoint Sunday afternoon. He later turned up at the Piggly Wiggly in Union Grove, where he shot at police. The woman was not injured.
Around the nation, a rude awakening for a family near Philadelphia. A school bus rammed right into their home earlier this morning. Aerial video shows the front third of the bus actually inside the house. The bus is from a nearby school and was carrying about 12 children at the time, ranging in age from kindergarten to 8th grade. The school's principal says all the kids are fine.
That could have turned out so much worse. That is so lucky for them.
Now to Oscar-winning actress Angelina Jolie. In 2013, she revealed that she had preventative surgery.
In an editorial in the New York Times today, Jolie says she's had another surgery that she hopes will save her life: the removal of her ovaries and fallopian tubes. NBC's Hoda Kotb has more on her story.
In an op-ed in this morning's New York Times, actress Angelina Jolie writes that she chose to have her ovaries and fallopian tubes removed in a procedure that took place just last week to reduce her chance of getting cancer. Almost 2 years ago, the 39-year-old Oscar winner revealed that she had a double mastectomy, a decision she made after losing her mother to ovarian cancer in 2007.
And after losing my mom to these issues, I'm very grateful for it, and I've been very moved by the kind of support from people. Really very grateful for it.
2 weeks ago, the results of a blood test revealed possible early signs of ovarian cancer. In the editorial, Jolie writes, "I went to see the surgeon who had treated my mother, and she teared up when she saw me. You look just like her. I broke down, but we smiled at each other and agreed we were there to deal with any problem. So let's get on with it."
You know, she's a movie star. Her journey of decision-making, agonizing, fear, those are all issues that every woman struggles with every time they hear any possibility of a disease. So in her case, again, a severe cancer, generations of cancer, I can understand why she did it.
Jolie says that while this surgery was less complex than the double mastectomy, its effects are more severe, putting her into forced menopause. Jolie writes, "I will not be able to have any more children, and I expect some physical changes. But I feel at ease with whatever will come, not because I am strong, but because this is a part of life." While waiting for her test results, Jolie called her husband and father of her 6 children, Brad Pitt. About Pitt, Jolie writes, "I called my husband in France, who was on a plane within hours. The beautiful thing about such moments in life is that there is so much clarity." Jolie acknowledges that while it's impossible to remove the entire risk of getting cancer, she remains hopeful about her health and her future.
Well, that was Hoda Kotb reporting ovarian cancer kills about 14,000 women every year. That's according to the Centers for Disease Control.
It's nice that she's being so proactive about this. And it's a very private situation for her, but she's being so public about it, which I think it can give a lot of women hope.
Yeah, it does. And I have to say, though, she does have the financial wherewithal to be able to pay for these surgeries, pay for the expensive test, to even track that she had that gene that predisposes you to cancer like that. Very fortunate, but I am glad that she is putting it out there.
Yeah, definitely.